All right. Hello, everyone. Today we are going to learn a new skill. We're going to practice a new method of note taking, and this is coming to us from Cornell University. It is known as Cornell Notes. Now, the really cool thing about this is that it will help you in your classes this year, all of your classes if you want to use this, but it's also really great for high school, and it became popular originally in colleges, and then high school teachers started using it, and now some middle school teachers have started to use it, and we're going to be using it in our classroom from here on out. But it is a great method to take notes. So let's go ahead and let's begin. The first thing you're going to need to do is to set up a sheet of paper. And taking your notebook paper, you want to probably go down. Now, for me, you can see in this paper is like maybe 6 or 7 lines, but for me, you really only need about 4 lines down here at the bottom, where you're going to put that large line there that's separating the bottom. Also, at the very top where your name goes, you want to just draw a line. Usually there's like a red line at the very top, but just draw a line below where your name goes. Now, above that line, you're going to have the title of whatever your notes are for that day. So for us today, it's going to be thermal energy and heat, but later on, it might be something else. So just understand the very top is where your title goes. Now, off to the side over here, you see this red line. What we want to do is we want to take a ruler, or we can just kind of like fold our sheet over a little bit to draw a line going from this bottom up to the top. And we're going to be using that section. This is where some vocabulary terms are going to go. And also we like to put some questions over in that section. And the reason this is so cool is because what you want to do is you want to kind of bend the paper over when you're studying, and you want to look at the vocabulary terms, and you want to look at all your questions that you have and see if you can answer without looking at your notes. And then once you have answered those in your mind, you can open it back up and look at your notes again. All right? So at the very top of our paper here, we want to just take a moment off to the side to go ahead and write down number 1 and number 2, these 2 questions. And we're just going to pause the video until you've had a chance to jot those down. After you have written down those 2 questions, in the middle, we're going to write down our 3 types of thermal energy methods, our 3 ways that heat is transferred. And again, we're just going to give you guys a second to write those words down. All right, let's go ahead and write down what conduction is. So again, this is heat transfer through direct contact of particles. Now, as you're writing that down, if you want to make a quick sketch of maybe, like let's say we draw a little fire here, and we have something that's in the fire, we can kind of show that as this piece of metal gets hot, the heat will move down the line or down the length of that metal until it touches your hand, which can burn you. So if you want to, you can add a little sketch there. You don't have to. Or if you want to add your own sketch, you can do that too. You don't have to always do what I do. You can go your own direction. Next, you want to add the terminology for convection. So here, as you can see, we have heat transfer through fluids getting close to each other but not touching. So here, I'm going to make a little sketch here also. And again, feel free to take it in whatever direction you want to go. And so you can see from my illustration that what I'm showing is the boiling water as the particles are moving up and down. And let's remember that these are convection currents. The high energy particles move up. The low energy particles move back down after dropping off their energy. And so again, high energy or hot air rises, cool air begins to sink, and it just keeps moving around and around in these circles over and over again. Those are called convection currents. So if you want to add that to your notes, by all means, you can do that. And then lastly, and feel free to stop if you need to, but this is where we're going to have radiation. And this is heat transfer without the need for a medium. And that word medium means matter. If you want to, you can actually add that over here in your vocabulary section, but that's up to you. You can customize your notes however you need to. That is the beauty of Cornell Notes, is that we can customize them. And I'm just going to draw the sun here. Make sure to add the little tiny moon over here in the outside the atmosphere. There you go, guys. So again, I made a little illustration of the sun's light hitting the earth. If you want to, you can add that too. You don't have to. It's personal. And notice, right now we're just adding stuff to the center part of these Cornell notes. Okay. And remember, as you study, you're just going to kind of bend this over so you can't see that while you look over here at the left side. And that's a great way to study the information so that you can remember it and be successful. Oh, look, we have 3 very important terms. Now, again, these are the same words that are over here on the other side, but we want to add them on this side because remember, we're going to fold the paper over as we begin to study, and this can help you to retain that information so that you can be incredibly successful on tests and quizzes. Let's go ahead and add heat to our list, and let's add the definition for heat, or the explanation or key idea about what heat is over here. So just give you guys a moment to do that. Now we're going to make a little table. If you have a ruler, you can use that, or if you just have the edge of a notebook to keep your lines straight, let's go ahead and make a little table. Now in that table, we're going to go ahead and we're going to label the 3 methods of heat transfer: conduction, convection, and radiation. And on the other side, we're going to actually have some examples. A large part of what you're going to be asked on a test or a quiz is going to ask you to identify examples and to see what those examples are and try to ascertain which method of energy transfer that actually is. So let's go ahead and let's label that table. Oh, that rhymes. Label the table. Here is my first example. And then I have an example of convection. Holding your face over a pot of boiling water can burn you. So conduction was actually touching the metal spoon. So here's the thing. The conduction is going to have the direct contact. That's one thing, you can add here if you wish. So remember, for convection, direct contact is not needed. But if you want to add that, you can do that. Lastly, here's an example for radiation. Now, at the very bottom of your page for your notes, you have a space for summary. Now, a summary is going to be just 1 to 2 sentences. But the thing I must tell you is that these 1 to 2 sentences are probably the most important thing on your notes. Essentially, you're taking your entire page of notes and summarizing that in just 1 to 2 sentences. So these have to be very powerful, very meaningful, and really have to get at the very heart or the key idea of what you're trying to express with your work, with your note taking. So let's think about that. I'm going to give you guys a moment to look at what I have, and then I want to see if you want to change what I have and make it your. But here we go. My summary is the 3 different methods of heat transfer: conduction, which is direct contact; convection, which is gas and liquid currents; and radiation without a medium, all occur around us all the time. Now, of course, I'm not telling you that my summary is the best one in the universe, but I'm just telling you that's my summary. So you can either take mine or you can make your own. Now, up today, I'm going to go ahead and let you take the driver's seat. As you can see here, these are some great examples of some Cornell notes from high schoolers and college students. And again, that's what we're doing with you guys. We're trying to get you guys ready for high school and for college. And it's not like, we don't have to do this, but this is something that I will feel very confident about you guys making that transition. I know that you'll be successful if you have the skill. And so that's why we're going to be doing this. But at this moment, your job is to do 5 things. So you are going to choose what 5 things you want to add to personalize or to customize your notes. Okay, now here we have some examples of some different things you can do. Okay, you can add scribbles, drawings, or pictures, little illustrations that you make. Now you can see that during the video I was making some little illustrations, little pictures of my own. Also, additional vocabulary words, like if you wanted to add the word medium in there to explain that that is matter, that could also help you. Also, any additional facts or ideas. If you look back over your reading, you might see other information that is related to the topic that you could also add into your notes. So again, the point is these are your notes. And honestly, with all of my students, no one should have notes that look just like somebody else's. They should all be individualized in some way. So go ahead right now, take that piece of information and add 5 things of your choice, whatever they are, to your notes. And that will be all you need to do today. But again, go back to your resources that you already have. You guys have a lot of stuff with your reading, a lot of notes that you've already taken. And just go ahead and take some time right now to complete that for me. And then we'll talk about how we can kind of use these to study. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.